On July 1st, 2013, interest rates on federal subsidized Stanford loans is set to increase from 3.4% to 6.8%. And as students, we should do our best not to let that happen. The Stanford Loan Program primarily serves low to moderate income families. More than 2/3 of all subsidized student loan borrowers come from families with an annual income of less than $50,000. Prior to 2008, rates on education loans changed on July 1st of every year based on the Treasury bill auction rate at the end of May and then rounded to the nearest quarter. In 2006, President Bush signed legislation that changed these loans from variable interest rates to fixed interest rates. If the variable rate was still in effect today, today's repayment rate would be 0.25%. Borrowers also had a chance to lock in the repayment rate for the life of the loan. A 2007 college affordability plan reduced the interest rate from 6.8% to 3.4%, which was scheduled to revert back to 6.8% on July 1st, 2012. President Obama and Congress were able to successfully extend the 3.4 interest rate until July 1st of this year. Students have already had much of their aid limited or restricted. In 2011, to expand the Pell Grant program that assists low-income borrowers, Congress eliminated the in-school interest subsidy for all graduate students and eliminated most student loan repayment incentives. These cuts resulted in a $4.6 billion savings over what was needed to fund the Pell Grant program. Instead of reapplying these funds towards education, it was applied towards deficit reduction. Increasing the interest rate will only increase the profit the government makes off of student borrowers. Student debt is currently $1.1 trillion, which is more than all other consumer debt aside from mortgages. The Education Department is set to make a $33.5 billion profit off all student loans made in 2013, which breaks down to them profiting 36 cents off every dollar lent to students. Over the last 5 fiscal years, the government has made a profit of $101.8 billion off student loans. Most everyone agrees that something needs to be done to reform the student loan program. And so far, the members of Congress have come up with a few ways on how that can be done. One idea is the market-based fixed rate. With current interest rates at historic lows, students would save for now, but what happens if interest rates rise to the 10% that they were in the 80s? Market rates are unpredictable, and no one expects them to stay at the rate they are now. The president's proposal would peg some Stanford loans to the 10-year Treasury rate plus 0.93 percentage points. This proposal also keeps rates low for the short term, but leaves low-income borrowers subject to the hikes of the 80s. Another bill that has been introduced would base the fixed interest rate on subsidized Stanford loans on the 10-year Treasury rate plus 3.0 percentage points and cut in-school interest subsidies on loans targeted at lower income students. This system would lower interest rates for the first couple years, but it would increase the costs overall. Another resolution that has been introduced would extend the 3.4 interest rate on subsidized Stanford loans until 2015. The problem with this proposal is that it is only a short-term fix and would leave students with little certainty about what to expect after 2015. As all of our student debt increases, we hope there will be a resolution soon. A few ways we can get involved in the fight to keep education affordable is to tell Congress not to let the rate on student loans double by signing the petition at speak.younginvincibles.org. We can tweet at #Don'tDoubleMyRate or hashtag #DreamsNotDebt. You can also join Young Invincibles in the fight online on June 13th for a social media day of action. Our generation cannot afford to let this happen. Thank you.